Hello? Hello? Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good afternoon. Ladies and afternoon. Hello? We'll kindly request all cameramen to give us space. Cameras, please give us space. Hello? NTA? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. May I have your attention, please? Ladies and gentlemen, kindly settle down. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly settle down. This program is about to commence. We welcome all of us to this Stakeholders Forum, organized by the Southwest Development Stakeholders Forum for the presidential candidates of all the parties involved in this 2023 election. The presidential candidate of the New Nigeria People's Party is already with us, and we kickstart this program formally with the national anthem. Shall we rise for the national anthem, please? Shall we please remain standing as we take the Oyo State anthem?
Aṣíwájú ni wá, aṣíwájú ni wá, aṣíwájú ni wá, aṣíwájú ni wá, ipò aṣíwájú l'Ẹlẹ́dùmarè fún wa nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe gírí, ọmọ Ọ̀yọ́ ká tẹpá wa mọ́ṣẹ́, ká bára wa sọ̀rọ̀, ká sòdodo, ká ṣe ohun tó tọ́ tó dára nígbà gbogbo, níbi gbogbo fún ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Kò ní rẹ̀yìn o lójú mi, kò ní rẹ̀yìn o, kò ní rẹ̀yìn o nígbà tèmi, kò ní rẹ̀yìn o. Èmi aṣọ tó tọ́ tó dára nígbà gbogbo, níbi gbogbo fún ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Aṣíwájú ni wá, aṣíwájú ni wá, aṣíwájú ni wá. Aṣíwájú ni wá.
While still remain standing, let's take the Odua anthem. You can please be seated. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, once again, we welcome you to this parley with the stakeholders and particularly with our presidential candidates in attendance. I'll soon get to the stage where I introduce our guest of honor, His Excellency Dr. Rabiu Kwankwaso. You are most welcome, sir. We are kickstarting this program now with a series of prayers, and I'll just call people to pray for us. Madam, please pray for us. Please pray for us.
Oh, wow. Our elders here present. Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا صراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين آمين سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, madam. So we take the Christian prayers now. Can you please pray for us?
Praise the Lord. Eternal King of glory, we bless your name. We commit this gathering into your hand. Holy Spirit, take control. At the end of it all, let they have cause to glorify your name. For in Jesus' precious name we have prayed.
Thank you very much, sir. This program has been put together by a number of bodies representing the Southwest stakeholders. And we have done this since last week. We've brought a number of presidential candidates together, not together here today. They've been here to tell us what they have in mind for the people of the Southwest. So, Your Excellency, that is why you are here today, to expound on your views for the people of the Southwest. We just want to take it so that we give you some time to be able to do a lot of exposition this afternoon. What we'll be doing, sir, is very simple. After you must have given us your program, there's a panel that we have set up to interview you. A 3-member panel. They'll be asking you questions on what you have in store for the people. And the panel is led by Deacon Owolabi Oladejo. That's a panel there. Deacon Oladejo, please stand up for recognition. We also have Dr. Mrs. Omomi Akin Onigbide. And Mrs. Shola Ogungbade. You are most welcome. The rapporteurs are there. They will take note of everything you have said. And at the end of it all, we'll come up with a communique. And we all agree on the communique so that there will be no misrepresentation about that. Are we in agreement, Your Excellency? Thank you very much, sir. But first, let me call on Reverend Dr. Muyiwa Bamgbose, who is the Secretary of the Southwest Development Forum, to come and give an opening address. Reverend Dr. Bamgbose, are you in the house? Oh, okay.
Good afternoon, Chairman, guests, ladies and gentlemen. I sincerely welcome all of you to this parley, as we call it, of the Southwestern Development Stakeholders Group. Well, we are a group of societies, associations who believe in the development of our area. I'm sure we've been inundated with all kinds of calls. Some people want to go away, some want to restructure, but we believe that basically everything has to do with development. If we're doing well, there'll be no issue. And even if we separate and we don't do well, there will still be issues. And that's why we said we want to put this together. We decided that we believe in this, put your money where your mouth is. So we levied ourselves, we taxed ourselves. This is not sponsored by any group. We do not take money from political parties. And in case when you are going, somebody says, please support them, put some money or whatever, it's not for us. We're not going to take it. Okay, we are receiving you here. We are taking care of you, and we will do the best that we can. Inú mi dùn láti kí wa káàbọ̀ sórí ètò yìí. Àwa tá à ń ṣe ètò yìí ní àwa Southwest Development Stakeholders Forum, Development Forum. Nǹkan tá a dẹ̀ ṣe pé àpéjọ yìí ni pé a pinnu lọ́kàn wá pé ó yẹ ká tiẹ̀ gbọ́ nǹkan tí àwọn tí wọ́n ń du ipò aṣíwájú ní ìlú wa ní orílẹ̀-èdè wa nǹkan tí wọ́n ní lọ́kàn. Àwa náà fẹ́ bá wọn sọ nǹkan táwa náà ní lọ́kàn wípé nǹkan tí a fẹ́ nìyí tó bá yín lára mu. Nǹkan tẹ́yìn náà bá dẹ̀ sọ fún wa, a lè sọ pé a máa fẹ́ léyìí báyìí o. A gbàgbọ́ pé tá a bá ṣe àjọsọ tó yéra wa kò ní sí wàhálà. So what I've said is we set this up to provide a forum such that we can listen to the candidates. We have listened to 4 candidates. We do not want confusion, so deliberately we bring them one at a time. Okay, so today we are receiving His Excellency Dr. Rabiu Kwankwaso, and we're still going to have another one or 2. Yeah, we decided to speak to 7 people. If you look at the wall around you, you will see their names. Okay, so you can guess those who have come and those who are yet to come and those who will come. Okay, because we are not very rich and this is Yoruba land, we do not have rice and meat to give you. We will give you akara. I hope you understand akara. I don't know the English name. Akara. We have 2 types. We have elepo and the olororo. Elepo is kengbe for some people. All right. You can speak to somebody to interpret to you. Are you following me? And if you need bread, if the akara is not enough, around there they sell bread. Okay. But we'll give you akara. We'll give you water. Okay. And we believe that everything will go on fine. We trust that at the end of this day, like the MC said, we'll have a communique, which will be our guide. Maybe 2 years' time, during your tenure, we'll call you again. And we'll say, well, on so-and-so date, you are here. This is what we said, but this is what we see. Or thank you very much for doing what we agreed to do. I want you to feel relaxed, and everything is secure, everything is safe. And we believe we'll see you again. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir, for that welcome address. which has actually set the tone for what we'll be doing around here. When I invite the chairman of the Southwest Forum, Development Stakeholders Forum, to please address this gathering. Mr. Allah Abibahi.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, our special guest, His Excellency. We are very, very happy to have you here. And judging by the crowd that followed our candidate, we are very, very sure that we are doing the right thing. We are here, as you have heard, to ensure that you meet with the candidate who wants to be a president. We do not know what he intends to do, except when he has spoken to us. Yeah. The party has produced manifestos, but to us, we believe manifestos are generalizations, and at times they may be mere speculations. So that when you tell us what we want to do, which we are going to believe is your blueprint, especially for the people of the Southwest, we are going to understand you, and our people too will understand you. Your Excellency, if you look around, you see you are not going to see our obas, our officials, our MDs. The reason is very simple. We believe those are your friends, the others are your friends, you can see them whenever you want to see them. You can go to their palaces and they can come to you. Directors and then very important personalities can also see you, you know how to see them. But here, we've brought to you the people of the grassroots. We brought to you the farmers, the parents, organizations that ordinarily we are not going to meet them one-on-one. But we want, because in most cases, they are actually the voters. And we've so learned that they do not have that opportunity of sitting very close to you or to any other person aspiring for this position. It is simple that we say, okay, let us bring them while we bring you face to face. You can tell them what you want to do. Those people you are seeing here are the people of the Southwest. And when we say Southwest, we are not saying only the Yoruba people. Yes, the Yoruba are the host here because this is our Yoruba land. But it is Southwest. And you can see yourself. You have so many Yoruba people. You have so many people from the Ariwa community. You have some people here. These are the people who make this area tick. The economic development of this side of Nigeria is not by only the Yoruba people, it's also by other tribes who are here. And if you know, this is the port, the melting pot for all nationalities, that is the Southwest. The Southwest gives Nigeria over 50% of its GDP. Likewise, whoever wants to be our president must talk to us. And that is why we have brought you here, so that we can talk to the people of the Southwest. As our secretary has said, this is from our purse. The association does not belong to any political party. We are not sponsoring anyone, and we are not here to humiliate anyone. We are here as your friend, and we've brought to you other things so you can see. Also, we are not here to spend your money to say, okay, this is what we are doing. This is how much it has cost you nothing. We are very happy that you have been here, you have come. That honor alone is okay for us. So when we are going, just go happily. If anybody should tell you we are going to drop something for them, don't drop. Because we are not going to take it, and he is not going to give it back to you. So the best, that's why we are saying publicly that you do not need to drop anything. We have thanked you because you are here, you have honored our invitation, and that is enough for us. Once again, thank you very much. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir Alawa Adedayo, for doing that for us. There is a body in the Southwest called Dawn Commission, Development Agenda for Western Nigeria. The Director General of Dawn Commission, Mr. Sheye Yelewe, please, and make your presentation as briefly as you can.
Your Excellency Dr. Rabiu Kwankwaso, distinguished man and lady on the high table, I want to say good afternoon, and as our chairman has said, particularly Dr. Kwankwaso, I want to say thank you for honoring this invitation. We count it as a great honor that you deemed it fit to come here and explain to us how you intend to actualize or how you intend to implement some of the demands we're going to place at your feet. As I said, my name is Sheye Yelewe. I am the Director General at a commission that was set up 10 years ago here in Ibadan called the Development Agenda for Western Nigeria, Dawn Commission. I try to say that it isn't the first, but it's actually becoming the most prominent. Before Dawn, we had the BRACE in Niger Delta. BRACE stands for Bayelsa, Rivers, Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Edo, and Delta. So they had theirs before Dawn Commission. But unfortunately, NDDC, the setting up of NDDC collapsed, BRACE. Now, what is Dawn? And as you can see, sir, it says Southwest Development Stakeholders Forum. Dawn Commission basically is pure and simple for the development of Southwest. It has no ethnic coloration. It has no ethnic agenda, no secessionist agenda. It is purely developmental. And when it was being set up 10 years ago, the idea is for 6 states, 6 contiguous states, Lagos, Oyo, Ogun, Osun, and Ekiti, for the 6 of them to collaborate, work together within the federation called Nigeria. And that is what we have been doing over the last 10 years, ensuring that these 6 states speak together, do things together to engender development. And as again the chairman said, anyone that resides in this space, whether you are Efik, Ibibio, Igala, Hausa, Fulani, as long as you are within this space, we count you as a citizen of Southwest Nigeria. So the agenda at Dawn Commission again has nothing to do. And what you've been hearing from people here today will be how that agenda can be promoted at the federal level. We have always said that the biggest challenge facing Nigeria over the years is that the items we have put in what we call the exclusive list, over the years, we have seen that gradually it has inhibited development in this country. And the idea of Dawn itself is to ensure that we grow as federating states within what we call Nigeria. You see, the challenge that the country has faced over the years, sir, is the fact that in the need to promote unity, and we talked about unity, Nigeria, united country. But we made the mistake that the fact that we are a federal country means that different groups came together to federate under a country called Nigeria. But what we've been trying to do is to ensure that we say, oh, united country, so everything must be uniform. And unity and uniformity are totally different things. I will say it again that the needs of that man in Kaduna State at times might be different from the needs of that man in Ebonyi State. The needs might be different, but it does not mean that we are not united. But what we've been trying to do over the years is trying to force that top-down approach. Everything must come from Abuja. Every decision, we must do it together. That has been antithetical to our growth and development.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, can we have some quiet so that we can enjoy what is being said and from what our presidential candidate will also say. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ a bẹ̀ yín ni, ẹ jẹ́ kí a fi ara balẹ̀ ká dákẹ́ ká lè gbọ́ nǹkan tó ń sọ. Please, gbogbo wa ní àkàrà náà kàn. All of us will get. Please, just be quiet. Thank you. You have just 2 minutes more.
No. So, I have a paper which I've abridged, and I'll try and do it in a few minutes. The western region of Nigeria was once widely considered as a pace setter in the country. The region boasted of many firsts and was in direct competition with many newly independent African countries and states within the now dissolved Union of the Social Soviet Republic, USSR. The region's developmental achievements at the time included implementation of the policy of free education, robust civil service, farm settlements, several giant strides. But unfortunately, the lofty heights attained have become more of a distant memory. The region's economic competitive edge has been blunted by a variety of factors, not least the increased reliance on petrodollar subvention from Abuja and a faulty administrative structure. And as I said earlier, sir, what we are planning to push forward is that if contiguous states can work together within the federation, what we are expecting our presidential aspirants to be telling us is how they will make that space more liberal, rather than telling us that things have to come Abuja. I will give an example. When we're talking about development, we believe, as an example, that rail should not be on the exclusive list. Thankfully, in the amendments being sent to Mr. President, rail is there. That's going forward, rail will now be on the concurrent list. Those are some of the little things that we are saying that in Western Nigeria, we are not going to be asking you, Dr. Kwankwaso, to come and do road, come and do this. No, sir. We will be asking you that give us a level playing field. That if we want to do certain things in this region, as long as it's within the Constitution, we will not be telling ourselves that, oh, that is a federal thing. Look at the examples of roads. We have so many. We are not going to be asking you, Dr. Kwankwaso, to come and do road, come and do this. No, sir. We will be asking you that give us a level playing field. That if we want to do certain things in this region, as long as it's within the Constitution, we will not be telling ourselves that, oh, that is a federal thing. Look at the examples of roads. We have so many bad roads across this region, but they will tell you, oh, you can't touch it. That's a federal road. I mean, I have not seen federal people. I've seen Nigerians. So if the road from Ife to Ikpetumobi is not good, the power should be that the states there, let them do the road. At the moment, as I said, the Nigerian Constitution has over the years inhibited growth from bottom up. What we want to do all the time is top down. And in a federal country like Nigeria, we are saying that, and particularly at Dawn Commission, that our agenda has to be growing from bottoms up. There is no federal country in the world that I know of that does not take into consideration the peculiarities of the people that form that federation. In Nigeria, most of the time, we want to do one size fits all. It doesn't work. One size fits all doesn't work. There are knees off the neck of the states. That is the only way we can encourage development. And as I said at Dawn Commission, Development Agenda for Western Nigeria, that's what we are called. Our agenda is simply, let us develop at our own pace. So, if we say that in Southwest, we want to be selling corn and granules to make money, the federal government should not be the one saying, no, you must sell yam. What if I don't want to sell yam? What if I believe? So, that's a enabling environment. You will find out today, sir, Dr. Kwankwaso, that the questions that will be thrown at you will be asking you that, as president, would you be able to create that enabling environment for us to develop? So even if we are developing as a region, the idea is that in Southwest Nigeria, if this region sneezes, the entire country catches cold. The big foreign direct investment, the largest cost to this part of Nigeria. Why is it that there are still several laws that we still say are antithetical to growth and development? Open up the space. There should be no fear in Abuja that, oh, maybe one region is doing this, we need to slow them down. Or maybe, no. Development is all round. If northern region develops, southern region is happy. If southern region develops, northern region is happy. We are one country. But we keep saying, sir, one size fits all does not work. Unity and uniformity are two different things entirely. Unity we subscribe to. Uniformity doesn't necessarily work in a federal system. But on behalf of the 6 Southwest states, Lagos, Oyo, Ogun, Ondo, and Ekiti, it's a shame that my time is so short. We want to welcome you here, sir. And we believe that when you get there, and I thank the organizers, sir, that they brought voters. Not just, we didn't bring traditional rulers or celebrities. These are the people that you will be presiding over when you get there. So it is our hope and prayer this afternoon that in our engagement, you will understand our yearnings, our groanings, and that we are all in this country hoping for a better future. Once again, sir, Dr. Kwankwaso, welcome and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Director General, Dawn Commission, Mr. Shewe Oyeleye. Thank you very much, sir. We are getting there. A presidential candidate of the New Nigeria People's Party is here with us, as I said at the beginning, but he didn't come alone. The national chairman of the party, Professor Rufai Ahmed Al-Kali, is here with us. Professor, thank you very much, sir, for coming. You are coming to the hub of the Southwest, so you are meeting the people, as it were. We also have with us the vice presidential candidate of the Nnpp. Wait for it. Is the Minister of the Gospel, Bishop Isaac Idahosa. You are most welcome, sir. We also have with us the Deputy National Chairman of the Nnpp, here Vice Marshal John Chris Ifneye. You are most welcome, sir. The National Secretary, Sadipo Omajoko. You are most welcome. National Auditor Barrister Ladipo Johnson, you are most welcome. We also have the National Vice Chairman Southwest, Prince Ademola, you are most welcome to. I was also told that the gubernatorial candidate for Oyo State is here with us for Nnpp, the gubernatorial candidate, most welcome, sir. The National Women Leader, Dr. Miriam Jumai Bello. The National Welfare Secretary, Kasim Mustafa. National Youth Leader, Ambassador Sanda Mohammed. National Legal Advisor, Barrister Robert Han. National Liaison Officer, Ambassador Bashir Abacha. The National Publicity Secretary, Dr. Gilbert Major Agbo. The Executive Officer, Youth Mobilization of the Presidential Campaign Committee. And I also have with us Alaji Adeyemi Adebisi. I'm also told that the governorship candidate of Lagos State is here. The governorship candidate of Lagos State. The national leader of the party, are you around? The Secretary Board of Trustees, Engineer Buba Galadina. You are most welcome, sir. Very welcome to this program. Very, very welcome. Your Excellency, sir, when I was dressing up for this program, I picked one kind of dress and one particular cap will go with it. And my wife said, no, you can't put that one on. I said, why? He said, you may be misrepresented because you are going to a program that is Dr. Rabiu Kwankwaso. He said, that cap you want to put on, people will say that is Kwankwasia. I said, thank you for reminding me so that I'm not misrepresented. Your Excellency, you are most welcome, sir. Very welcome to the Southwest, as it were. Dr. Rabiu Kwankwaso, the presidential candidate of the New Nigeria People's Party, was born on the 21st of October 1956. He is a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers and a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Consciousness of Yours. I have it here with me, don't worry. But I have done my own bit on you, don't worry. So even if you want me to tell you the name of your wife and your children, right? Or you think I can't do it? So, okay, how is Aishat? So how is Aishat? Fine. Right? So forget this. I have a script I'm working to. One of the things that struck me about this man is he was governor of Kano State from 1999 to 2003. After he lost the election in 2003. But he came back to win another election for the same governorship of the state in 2011. That shows something about tenacity. Acceptance by the people. He was Minister of Defense 2003 to 2006. And when I tell you that he's a complete politician, please believe me. He is a complete politician. He had once been in the House of Representatives and he was Deputy Speaker in the House of Representatives, a former Senator, a former Governor. So what do you expect? So it's a transition from one level to the other. Member House of Rep, a minister, a senator, and what is the next step? He holds a doctorate degree in water engineering, which he obtained in India in 2002. In 20 years, and in 20, and ever since then, he's never looked back. He's always been devoted to the service of the people everywhere he's been. He once contested for the presidency. Did the primaries then under the APC in 2015, but lost to our present president, Muhammadu Buhari. He contested also the primaries in 2018 under the PDP and lost to His Excellency, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. Now he's in the race. Now he's in the race. Will he be third time lucky? Senator Dr. Musa Rabiu Kwankwaso. You are most welcome, sir, to the Southwest. Now, as it has been said, you are meeting the people. These are the people that you will need. So you have to expand your views to them clearly so that they can be your foot soldiers in spreading the message everywhere. Once again, we welcome you, sir, and we believe that at the end, we want to make it snappy. We know politicians don't have that time. So we now invite you to come and tell the people of the Southwest what you have in mind for the Southwest. Your Excellency, Dr. Musa Rabiu Kwankwaso. Once again, we welcome you, sir, and we believe that at the end, we want to make it snappy. We know politicians don't have that time. So we now invite you to come and tell the people of the Southwest what you have in mind for the Southwest. Your Excellency, Dr. Musa Rabiu Kwankwaso. Get seated. Get seated, please. Please get seated. MC, thank you very much. Let's see how it goes. Thank you very much. The chairman of the Southwest Development Stakeholders Forum and his wife, what I don't know, madam. Can you please? Who is she, please? Huh? Okay. Let me say, members of the high table, including my respected vice presidential candidate and chairman of our party, Professor Al-Khali, and leaders of the forum. Let me thank the leadership of this forum for finding me author of this invitation. And I'm so happy to be here. But when I got this invitation, I decided to do some due diligence to ensure that the forum is not working for any presidential candidate. No matter what happens, at the end of the day, we know what they will say and we know what they will write. So we are not expecting the forum to be biased, and everything should be based on realities, on facts, and of course, on the credit of what has been said or done. I'm happy I was being introduced by the MC. Let me say that I find Southwest to be
my second home.
Your Excellency, before you go on, sir, Your Excellency, before you go, let me alert you that this program is being transmitted live to the whole world.
Okay, yes.
We are streaming live on Impact Business Radio, Impact Africa Television, Space FM, and Afro Space.
I like that.
Alaroye Online TV.
I like that. Bring more. Thank you.
So
Thank
we
you
are
very much.
streaming live.
Thank you. Because I had my NYSC here in Ogun State. And of course, in those days, I had our camp in comprehensive high school in Ayotoro. And also, I was posted to waterboard in Abeokuta, and I stayed in Nafewa in Abeokuta. And I had wanted to get married from here. For whatever reason, I couldn't get. But today, I think MC is giving me another wife because that was not the name of my wife. So maybe this time around, I will get one from the south west.
No problem.
Let me, at this point, say that I was in the PDP. In fact, I was one of the founding fathers of the PDP. In 1998. In 1999, I became the governor of Kano State. And under the same party, from 2003 to 2007, I was minister to President Obasanjo, and of course his advisor on Darfur and Somalia. I was also in the MDDC, representing Northwest, still under PDP. And of course, I was governor of Kano second term from 2011 and 2015. But let me say that in 1998, when we were forming this party, we were doing it purely to kick out the military. And therefore, we only brought all our friends from the nooks and corners of this country. In fact, all those we believe were relevant politically. It was only when we started working as government, especially in Kano State, that we realized that we had so many people who are completely opposite from what we believe in politics and in governance. People who believe only in themselves. We wanted to supply water to the people, or education, or agriculture, or health. They are only thinking of themselves. And that was why we decided to form a progressive party in 2013 and 14. And 5 of us as governors decided to work together and other Nigerians that we believe were also progressive. And we are very successful in terms of election. From presidential to National Assembly to State Assembly and governors, we have the majority. Unfortunately, when the governors started in 2015, along the line we realized or agriculture or health, they are only thinking of themselves. 23 was between bad and very bad. And that's the position. And that was why we decided to pick this, our party, the New Nigeria People's Party. And within the shortest possible time, we are able to put all our structures from wards to local government to states to zones to national within few months. And also today we have almost 100% in terms of number of candidates and also the best in terms of quality when we compare them to all other parties. And that is why, by the grace of God, we believe that this election is between
the total failure that we saw from 1999 to date, and on the other hand, was a party that believes in new Nigeria, Nigeria that is good, that will be good for everybody. Let me also say that we decided as a party that we should go around the country, talk to the people at grassroots level, and that's why we decided to campaign from towns to villages to cities across the country. We, together with other leaders of the party, have now gone to over 400 local governments in the last 10 months. We visited them, we talked to them, and we have the feel of what is happening on the ground, ranging from insecurity to economic to dilapidated infrastructure, especially the roads, education, health, and so on and so forth. And that was why we decided in the Nnpp to produce the best blueprint. And I'm happy to say that we came with some copies. We'll give them to the forum, and we hope that other people will download it from our website, the Nnpp website, so that they can read and understand what we stand for. And I'm happy that whatever is in there is very much based on our experiences over the years in this country and even elsewhere. And not parties, other parties that were looking for consultants to go and produce blueprint for them, or some of them have even picked blueprint for the former parties and panel beated them and decided to say that is their own blueprint. Now, the blueprint is 152 pages, and I don't want to go because there is no time. But I just want to tell you some of the few things that I believe are relevant to this meeting. One, the issue of security. We have decided to very much increase the number of the Nigerian military, so also the police, so also the civil defense and other security agents that we have in this country, so that with better training, with better equipment, and of course with better kitting of these officers, and with the political will on the side of the Commander-in-Chief, I believe that our members of the armed forces and other security agencies under our leadership should be able to secure this country, should be able to protect each and every Nigerian who lives in Nigeria and even those who are living abroad. We also talked about education, which is very critical. In education, we noted that today we have over 20 million out-of-school children. And that's why we decided to build at least 500,000 classrooms in 4 years. And of course, each and every Nigerian child must be in school. Let me also say that from my practical experience in Kano State, many children, many of our sons and daughters were not being able to go to school simply because they didn't have money to pay for forms and other fees in this country. And that was why we looked into the issue of WAEC, NECO, JAM. And like we did in Kano, we believe that to allow the sons and daughters of the poor to go to school, those payments must be stopped, and therefore nobody will pay, no child will pay for these fees, because they are a big barrier to allowing our sons and daughters to go to universities and other tertiary institutions. We have even also noted the issue of duration of JAMB. Now is 1 year. We decided in our blueprint to make it 4 years, so that if you don't get admission this year, you can use it next year and the remaining 2 years. And we believe in 4 years, we should be able to expand our tertiary institutions. We should be able to improve the quality of our tertiary institutions, and so on and so forth, to the extent that we believe in those 4 years, all those who are interested in going for tertiary education should be able to get admission and sponsorship to go and study. Now, some of these things may sound awkward, but for those who are familiar with what we have done in Kano, I'm just telling you what we have done. All these things have been done. To the extent that in my last 2 years as governor in Kano, we were even looking for people with university qualification to go and study in our universities, either here in Nigeria or even abroad. I remember we sent over 3,000 young men and women of Kano State, not origin, but residents. Therefore, many people from all parts of Nigeria benefited from our scholarship. I remember we sent thousands of our young men and women to private universities. Even here in the Southwest, we sent 300 to Bells University in Ogun State, 200 in Kent University in Ogun State, 300 in Benija University in Edo State, and 412 to Al-Kalam University in Katsina State, and 25 to Apti in Yola. The idea is to make sure that the sons and daughters of the poor have an opportunity also to go to private universities. And that we have done successfully. And of course, we had so many scholarships, huge scholarships, and we had special university, federal government university that were selected. The University of Maiduguri, Usman Danfodiyo University, Ahmadu Bello University, and Al-Kalam University in Katsina. All these universities, Kano State government under our leadership built 300 bed hostel for each one of them, free of charge. And of course, they did everything possible to admit our students, our own quota, and the quota of those around us who could not fill those quota at that particular time. And that was why, as at the time I was going, there was nobody with the university qualification looking for admission, and you could not get. In fact, our universities were bitterly complaining that they are not having enough people of Kano. Some have gone abroad, and many have gone for other opportunities. So that was why in 1999 we were the first people to feed our children in primary schools. We are the first to 2 sets of uniform everywhere, anywhere in this country for our children in our primary schools. We built hundreds of secondary schools in 4 years. We built, of course, the 2 universities, Kano University of Science and Technology in 2001, and of course, Northwest University in 2012, and of course, 26 other various institutes to cater for our young men and women in Kano State. So now we have done what is necessary to transfer an improved version of what we have done in Kano State. The same thing is economy. The economy is bad. Everybody knows that. The resources today are going to very few people. All what we are saying is we have to save our national assets. Today we are producing only about 50% of 2.2 million barrels that we are supposed to produce on a daily basis. And we have allowed our assets also in many parts of this country, especially in the northwest, in Zamfara, in Sokoto, in Katsina, and so on and so forth. Even in the north central, especially Nasarawa, of course, Niger, and so on. Bandits have taken over. They are mining, they are bringing their helicopters just to ferry it out of the country. And those people who are supposed to protect the assets are just looking helplessly. We believe that we have a lot of resources in this country. And anybody who goes to Kano, and I'm sure most people here, if not everybody, was in Kano, we have infrastructure that is probably second to none. Even Lagos, if you go and subtract what federal government has done, I don't think they can compare themselves with Kano State in terms of underpasses, in terms of flyovers, in terms of dualized roads, in terms of street lights, of course, and other infrastructure, both in the city and in various local governments. I'm happy to say, and I have been saying it, that there is a lot of money in this country. And any governor or even president who says there is no money, I think we need to talk, because I believe that there is a lot of money. And that's why I did not borrow only 1 naira for the 8 years I was governor of Kano State. All what we have done, the scholarships or the education, the agriculture, infrastructure, everything. In fact, we had to pay what we inherited in 1999 and also paid what we inherited in 2011 as debt. We can go on and on, but let me go back to the question of which I believe is very relevant here. What do I want to do in the southwest and in all the zones when we have to unite? Today we have so many issues with unity. And in my opinion, all that has to do with lack of capacity and commitment of our leaders at various levels. And that is exactly why we feel we are the best for the job. In addition to the unity, another thing is the security, which I mentioned. And we believe that with my experience as Minister of Defense and of course Governor of Security, Chief Security Officer in Kano State for 8 years, and especially that when I was governor, the Boko Haram tried and did everything possible to make Kano a base. Not only we are able to handle them accordingly, today, going by what we are able to set up in terms of infrastructure in the area of security, Kano can be said to be an island in terms of security, not only in northern Nigeria, even across the country. So we are going to handle the issue of security with the support of the military and other security agents in this country. So also education. I mentioned what we have done in Kano, and that's exactly what we want to do with a lot of improvement based on our practical experiences. Infrastructure, especially roads, because roads were specifically mentioned here. And I think today I am in a better position to talk about Nigeria roads even more than the Commissioner or Minister of Works. Because I don't think Minister of Works, even when he stayed for all this, I think he is there for how many years now, getting to 8 years. I don't think he covered half what I have covered in the last 4 months. Because I went round from villages to towns and to cities. I have built the updated infrastructure that we have in this country. And the biggest problem leaders are having is that they always stay in their comfort zone. If you are just a bedroom or sitting room, or even going to state capitals for rallies in the air, eating the best food in your aircraft, landing in the capital, maybe the governor is even from your party, they will come to the airport and bundle you there and take you straight to either government house or to the stadium. You don't know what is happening. And that's why when we say the roads are bad, they say, oh, they are opponents. When we say the economy is very bad, they will call us all sorts of names. But that is the reality. Meaning, most of these leaders are living in the air, while we are on the ground, talking to the people, understanding their issues. So, on the roads is there in our manifesto or blueprint. What we intend to do, because we are not in a hurry to go and borrow money and be given these contracts. We believe that there are people, based on our experiences, that are strong enough in this country with a lot of equipments. They were contractors before. Now there is no contract, almost zero, from any of these governments, not even from private sector. So many of our equipments are there parked doing nothing. So we intended to organize our contractors. For example, you can take contractors from here in the southwest and look at the roads here in the southwest or elsewhere in the country. Bring them together, organize them, support them, and give them some roads. And of course, with good leadership of the companies themselves, a lot can be produced by our local contractors. And that we are going to do it under the arrangement BOT or BOOT, which is known to many people in this country. And we believe that that will help the contractors, will help the people flying the roads, and of course, will help our economy. Certainly under that arrangement, there will be some few places where money will be collected for maintenance and payment of those roads. And going by what we have seen, I believe that is possible, because I visited some African countries. They are bringing Chinese to go and do such projects because they don't have the money, they don't have resources locally to do it. But in this country, we believe that there are so many people with a lot of resources. All what they need is an advice, guidance, and of course, the support. So we have so many things to say. The issue of restructuring was mentioned. Let me say that our government, by the grace of God, is going to be open, and it will listen to everybody. Even in the area of insecurity, we will listen to people who are angry, who are doing things that we believe is abnormal. Discuss with them. If you say they are doing it because they don't have roads, they don't have water supply, they have this, they don't have that, they will look at what government can do. And government, I believe, can do better with people with capacity at the top of those governments. Of course, there are people who, under whatever guise, would want to continue with their criminal activities, and that's why and where the issue of security agencies would come. So structuring or restructuring has been there. When we were in the Constitutional Conference of 94-95, where we drafted the 1999 Constitution, every item was debated. For example, there are many people who wanted parliamentary. And the number is big, but of course, it's not as big as those of us who wanted presidential. They were defeated on the floor of the conference, and therefore we adopted a presidential system of government. Today, people are talking about additional states to their zones. Some want to control their resources, and so on and so forth. So to us, it's legitimate for people to bring suggestions on what they want. And we'll put it on the table, including restructuring. If there is any idea or better idea than what we have today, why not? We not keep quiet. President will make sure, like we did in Kano, every week we will do a Federal Executive Council, and not only the Minister of Information, President must be talking to his people. People must understand where the government is working and where they want to work, while at the same time trying to get feedback from the people of this country. We have seen many areas that were being mentioned here. I don't know how much time I have to continue to speaking, but there is another important thing, and that thing is the committee or committees that we are going to establish in all the councillor constituency. We have 8,809 in this country, and we are going to put committees. We call them community participation and reorientation committees. Those committees, each committee has 11 members. Members in that that will form this committee. One is the traditional ruler. Two is the clergy or imam, as the case may be. Representative of our party, which is the chairman, and of course, representative of another major party in that ward. Representative of people with disability, representative of women, and so on and so forth. And that committee will be charged with the responsibility of ensuring that necessary things done and are done as quickly as possible. From my experience across the country, almost everywhere I went, they have a one block almost in each school. We have local governments, we have state governments. People are not paying any attention. Some of the schools, they have only one block of 2 classes. What of other classes? And you ask them, the school has been there for decades. So we will charge this committee, which is a stopgap, to ensure that classrooms, even employing teachers on temporary basis, even buying teaching and learning materials, and so on and so forth. Education is our priority. Of course, there are other things like the dispensary or clinic that is in that ward, and of course, even supporting people who are very much in need, and so on. And these are things that have been done in Kano. In Kano, that is the committee that is feeding our children in schools. It is the very committee that is supplying pieces of uniform every year. And that is the committee that is helping us with even intelligence, with information, because we want to carry everybody, including the children rulers, of course. And these committees are not only in the wards, but so also in the local governments, in the states, and at national level. So this committee to us is very critical. We have seen what it has done in Kano. Now, for Southwest, and on the issue of allowing people to move at their own pace, that is very important. And we appreciate that. There is no way you can go and tie a particular zone to say they have to move with the other zone. In fact, you are not even helping that zone. You are trying to help, if that is what you think. So it is our candid opinion, and there clearly in our blueprint that not only zones, even states, even local governments. I was in PDP, but we are not moving with the same speed with other governors in PDP when I was governor. So the freedom is there, and we will encourage organizations, the development organizations in all the zones, and coincidentally, all these zones have got a similar thing. Some based on zone. We have NNDC, which is regional in the north. We will support every group because that is the only way we can reach the promised land. We have to allow people individually to move. And before I sit down, I think it's an opportunity also to tell you that I am a very much friendly or a friend of this zone. And I can tell you that in 1992, I think it's very relevant, we had a candidate in SDP from this part of the country, Chief MK Abiola. And at that time, we had another candidate in the other party, LRC, Alhaji Bashir Tofa, of blessed memory also. And there was election. My humble self and our leader, our father, Alhaji Bashir Tofa, at that time we come from the same Gandun Albasa, we had the same polling booth. And because at that time we believe that the candidate here was better than the one we had in Kano, in my polling booth. The man here, and that time I was Deputy Speaker of the House of Reps. Our leader here won in our polling booth. Our leader here in Southwest won in our ward, in our local government, and in our state, and in fact, even in northern Nigeria. These are facts. So our politics is not based on ethnicity, is not based on religion. And I'm sure you remember in 1999, there was a candidate here in this Southwest from Abeokuta, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. And there was one from Kano, our leader, our father, Alhaji Muhammad Abubakar, a blessed memory. I was governor-elect when we went to Jos. And in Jos, we all supported, in this case, your candidate. And he won election. Not only he won primary election, we also made sure he won election in Kano and in northern Nigeria. So when some people now are forming political party based on religion, based on ethnicity, we laugh at them. Because that's not the way to win election. The way to win election is to have a national party consisting of all religions, not only Christians or Muslims, even those who are practicing traditional religion. They should be in that party. And that's why during the Constitutional Conference, we made sure that not only you have the highest number of votes, but you have at least 25% in 2/3 of the states, which is 24, at least 24.
You can't win election with that face. And that's why we are always advising them that anybody who comes to this race, this very one in 2023, with the face of religion and ethnicity, he or she would have lost the election even before the 25th itself. And then I come here and say, we are taking our own. Oh, it's my turn. Nobody has got any turn. It's our turn. It's everybody's turn. Let me tell you, what we have today is that all of us should look for the best. You take the best. And those of you who think getting president from your village is your answer will benefit, it's not true. This government, we are the chief architects of bringing APC. We knew how to win an election at national level. ACN didn't know because it never formed any government. Even CPC didn't know. Those of us from PDP, we brought in resources, we brought in intelligence, we brought in international and local resources and intelligence for election. And what follows? Rabiu Kwankwaso and his supporters. Rabiu Kwankwaso brought over 1.9 million votes from Kano. I was a governor. And my influence was beyond Kano, was beyond south and north. It was across the country, even then. But of course, many people were underrating us. What did I get from that government? All my supporters, zero, nothing. I was just sitting like this in the Senate, looking at CPC, didn't know. Those of us from PDP, we brought in resources, we brought in intelligence, we brought in international and local resources and intelligence, and we won election. And what follows? Rabiu Kwankwaso and his supporters. Rabiu Kwankwaso brought over 1.9 million votes from Kano. I was a governor. And my influence was beyond Kano, was beyond south and north. It was across the country, even then. But of course, many people were underrating us. What did I get from that government? All my supporters, zero, nothing. I was just sitting like this in the Senate, looking at other people. No, but look at the man here in the southwest. Kad was contesting, a Muslim from the side of my country. And we are Obasanjo people. Sharia came, religion played a part, ethnicity played a part. But we stood our ground to say, come what may, we stood by Obasanjo. That's not religious or ethnic politics. To the extent that I lost the election. But because he's a good man, he called me and said, what do you want in government? Nobody called me in APC where my brother is president to ask me what I want. Nobody. So for anybody who thinks putting a Yoruba man because you are Yoruba, you will benefit. Nah, lie. You will not get anything. So I want to advise the South, yes, especially those who are looking for development. Don't think narrowly. Look for people with capacity. Look for people who are qualified, even in terms of going to school. This is the first time we are hearing people in the South that are saying PhD is nothing, it's not relevant. I say at least we have succeeded now. North is presenting a candidate that the South now is saying PhD is nothing. They want people whose qualification is questionable. I'm so happy about that now. South is talking like that. Before now, they are saying we are counting with goats, with cows and goats and so on. Now here we are. Where are the candidates? We have been looking for them. I have been looking for them to go for debate. They are running away because they cannot match. Even recently, a group called debate group. They are number one in terms of debate. There was nothing they did not do to call them. They wouldn't come because they had nothing to tell Nigerians. They are just relying on money. They are relying on governors. Which governor? Governors have failed the country. So also the national government has failed the country. So nobody who is relying on government, big problem. And even money. If you are a politician, don't be a businessman where you go and start taking money left, right, and center. Be like Rabiu Kwankwaso. Help businessmen to go and thrive. And when the need comes, of course, you will be supported by those who appreciate you as businessmen and women. Now, from all indications, I have been told that the time is of essence. Now, somebody suggested I should speak in Hausa, which is, I think, good. Jama'a assalamu alaikum. Na farko ina so in gode wa masu jin Hausa, in gode wa 'yan Arewa, in gode wa dukkanin mutane da suke wannan guri. Mu da ma ƙarfinmu a ko'ina ku ne domin ku kuka san mu. Ku ne kuka san amfaninmu. Mu ne muke tsaye a kan adalci domin kare mana ƙarfi a ƙasar nan. Shi ne adalci, shi ne ma'adalci a ko'ina a duniya. Kowa ya san da wahala da mutane da yawa suke sha. Mun zo nan an kakkama wasu, mun zo nan an yi abubuwa iri-iri. Muna fatan dukkanin wa'anda suke jin Hausa za su tsaya su jajirce. Ba don Rabiu Kwankwaso da haushi ba ne. A'a, domin shi ne muku amfani. Waɗannan mutanen da yawa daga cikin sun tashi daga aiki, ba abin da za su iya. Su ma taimako suke nema. Su ma taimako suke nema. Inda za su gan ku, za su yi ƙoƙarin ku taimaka musu, ku tattara su daga nan gurin su je can gurin, suna neman taimako. Wannan zaɓe da za a yi ba zaɓe ne na addini ko na ƙabilanci ko na wani abu ba, zaɓe ne na waye zai iya. Duk kun san su wannan na jama'iyyun nan guda biyu, waye zai iya a ciki? Ba wanda zai iya. Su ma taimako suke nema. Duk Allah ya kun su ku taimaka musu, ku ce su yi haƙuri. Na gode ka ba su raɓa.
Ladies and gentlemen, kindly give our presidential candidate another round of applause. We thank you, sir, for that exposition. Now we come to the question and answer session. The panel is set, so you will have to take some notes. Hello, can we have some quiet, please? So I now hand over to Dikinowo Labejo and his team to begin their questions. Over to you, sir.
Your Excellency, Alhaji PhD. Please be seated. Please be seated. All protocols duly observed. The member of audience, please. We will want the audience to please write out their questions for His Excellency. Give it to any member of our team, we will bring it here. And you should please do that quick. Whatever question you have for His Excellency, please write it down and bring it up.
My professor. Your Excellency, that Nigeria will there is serious lack of trust between the leaders and the followers. And I don't think we've had the type of trouble that we are having presently amongst the tribes and the ethnic groups. This is resulting in hatred that is unprecedented, insecurity that is. For this, a lot of people are agitating. They want restructuring. Some want amendment of the Constitution, more devolution of power. Some are even talking about Biafra or Biafra nation and all those. Sir, our question is this. One, for Southwest audience, what is your position as to restructuring? Given that Nigeria was negotiated ab initio as a regional bloc, but we've mismanaged everything. So for us to regain confidence in ourselves, what do you think we should do? Should we restructure? Should we amend the Constitution? That is my first question, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. You see, those who are living in this part of the country, they may not appreciate what is happening elsewhere. I very much believe that even Southwest is yet to achieve its full potential. There is still room, in fact, very big room for improvement. But you see where we are today is that for those of us who are always on the move, we have seen too many things. To the extent that despite the situation that many people think is bad here, it is very much worse, especially in many parts of northern Nigeria. Even in the south, you cannot compare what we have seen in those parts of the country and what we have here. But it's legitimate to talk about things that can improve even a good or better situation. And that's why I talked about this structure and say it will be open. And let me tell you, from my practical experience, those you mentioned are looking for Biafra and so on. It is very difficult to remember anybody I know who is really hell-bent in getting his own country in the southeast. What is happening is people feel that there are people or the situation or the status quo is not fair and just to them. And everybody will start thinking of, okay, what do we do? Some will say, let's be patient. Some will say, let's make noise. Some will say, let's take extreme position so that at least we can attract attention. So what we see actually is an issue of leadership. If the leadership not only will be fair, but should be seen to be fair, and can tell you most of these agitations will go down. Now, we have seen, everybody knows, including the people who are looking for Biafra, that they are the most circulated people in this country. You go to every village, they are there, selling big things, ranging from spare parts to gold to many other things. Others are selling yellow garden egg.
one stick of cane, one cutting nails, and so on and so forth. But that is not anybody's fault, in my opinion, leadership. But even the followership has issues, and I think now, in terms of time, it's relevant. Because even the leaders were being elected by the people. It's not a matter of a particular group electing leaders in this country. It's everybody. And probably that is why we are even here. But the most disappointing thing is that people are still talking of people from their ethnic group. People are still talking about people from their, not even from their belief, Christianity or Islam, even denominations in those places, instead of looking for the best. And I think this aspect of the voters, I think this forum must do everything under the sun to make sure that the voters decide to do the right thing. And the right thing now will kill all these agitations. Some, before I came, somebody was talking about Omotokun, whether it will continue or should not continue. I said, look, by the time you have strong leadership and security, nobody will talk about any data or anything, because the governors need that money to do other things. But if there are issues, then people will start talking about restructuring, resource control, even leaving the country. So we believe that if we have government, we should be able to bring everybody together. To the extent that most of these, if not all these agitations, will just fizzle away, because people will know they have a good Nigeria. And I can tell you Nigerians are good people. They're not looking for too much. You go to villages, the people who are being chased out in northern Nigeria today, they don't know what is happening, what mistakes they made, who they abused. They don't even know why government is not protecting them. Innocent people. They don't even know why these guys are coming to kill us. Now, what is important is to protect the lives and properties and leave everybody, even individual, to reach his full potential. And that is doable, and that is possible. Thank you.
Thank you. The insecurity in Nigeria has caused a lot of problems, and the governors of Southwest Nigeria established Amotekun. There was a fight back from the federal government. Your Excellency, how will you handle that area? Two, let's talk about the state police. How do you feel about it? What's your stake? Our farmers couldn't go to farm. There's food insecurity. Women are being raped, killed, and our children couldn't go outside to farm. We expect your expectation, what you will do for us, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I believe the issue of, okay, I will sit down, thank you. The issue of state police is just a way of saying we are so worried with what is happening. What do we do? And so many people have got many ways of expressing what to do, including Amotoku, including IPO, including even Boko Haram, even bandits. Some bandits will tell you that somebody has taken away all their cattle and they have nothing to fall on to other than to go and become bandits. I have seen somebody recently, because of this money redesign, he was raising his money and swearing to Almighty God that if they don't change this money and this money becomes worthless, he will be a bandit. Now, that was why, and many obvious reasons, we are asking the federal government to extend the time, because we know it's there in the Act, CBN Act, that the notice should be at least for 6 months. You cannot give half of the time and just leave it, even going by the law. Now they say they increased by 10 days. That is even not enough. What we are saying is allow the people to go and change their legitimate money. And that was why we decided in Nnpp that if government does not allow adequate time, when we form our government, we will open windows and doors for everybody to come and change his own money. We will not allow any Nigerian to lose money. So 10 days, okay, good. We are making progress. But we want to see adequate time. And adequate time for the change of this money, this administration has made that time. What they have is very small, comparatively. So that's our position. So the issue of state police and so on, we will discuss. But I can tell you, with good security as former governor, no governor would want to be spending that money for buy uniform, pay salaries, and so on, while he has dilapidated schools, dilapidated roads, and so on, if the security is good. Thank you.
I have very few questions here. His Excellency is seated. I don't want anybody to say he's not allowed to ask any question. Please bring your questions and we will pass it along. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Your Excellency, the presidential candidates of Nnpp. I want to ask my question with regard to the soft issues of governance in Nigeria. Soft issues of governance, specifically relating to the youths, the senior citizens, that is the elderly, pensioners, and all of such things that have to do with the welfare of the citizens of Nigeria. Youth development is very critical. The issue of the youth is very critical in Nigeria today. And by the time you start researching on the youth problem, you find that it is connected, it has to do with so many other problems that we have in other aspects of the country, of the national life, either insecurity, either crime, either poor productivity, poor level of productivity, and all of that. Youths that are not properly educated or do not have, a clear sense of how the education will go, do not get empowered through education. Those that get empowered through education or gain education cannot find work to do. Those who are able to find some kind of work to do get poorly remunerated. So you find that there is a lot of frustration in the youth sector in this country. And we all agree that it is the youth that will develop this country. Whether those of us that are on stage now, like it or not, we have to retire at some point in time. And the baton will pass on to the youth. Unfortunately, our youth are systematically disempowered on all facets, on all indices of empowerment. So my question, sir, is that what will be your youth development policy if you come into power as the president of this country? How do you intend to tackle the youth problem? Because it reflects in crime, it reflects in frustrations and, everything that is wrong with this country. How do you intend to handle the youth sector? And then the senior citizens. After working for so many years, the pensioners get out of service. Getting their entitlement is a problem. the issue of wrong management of pensioners' retirement benefits and all that has been ongoing for how many years, for decades in Nigeria today. And so many of them die like that, like flies, while queuing for either their gratuities or their pensions to be paid. And then those that are not even blessed enough to have retired from pensionable services, who are elderly citizens, those are even more, negatively affected, impacted. There's nothing in our system, in our governance policy, that shows care for the elderly. No social welfare of any kind in this country. How do you intend to make life bearable, livable for people who are in these categories? So these are what I call soft issues of governance that impact directly on the lives of the citizens of Nigeria. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, madam. I was just listening. I thought you would include women, because normally it's difficult to talk about the youth without the women. Anyway, you see, all this issue of education we are talking about, almost all of them are youth. Very important. The issue of job opportunities, most are for youth, both men and women. We have many programs to create jobs. If you are talking of military, it is the youth who will be in the military, the youth who will be in the police, and SSS and so on and so forth. Program of agriculture, program of health, program of all other sectors. It is for women, of course, and youth. The issue of elderly, maybe I will say that I will do what I did to military pensioners. Before I went to Ministry of Defense, some of you who are conversant with what was happening in Abuja, retired military people were all over Abuja sleeping on the streets. From 2007 to date, it's difficult to remember seeing anybody on the street of Abuja in the name of military pensioner. We have taken a decision, we implemented it, and that is standing many years after I left Ministry of Defense. So, you see, even the arrangement that were being done for contributory pension when I was in the defense, we played critical role, but actually, unfortunately also, that is not as effective as it was designed. And for me, it is part of the lapses of the administrations that followed the Obasanjo administration. So, I believe that we have enough resources in this country to take care of ourselves, including the elderly, including the retired people. Let me say that in Kano, what we did was when we identified very old people and sick people who cannot help themselves. Those ones we put them on, if you like, pension or allowances. We got other people who are handicapped, but they are strong enough to do things either with their hands or their legs or something. We train them on relevant trade and businesses and give them capital free of charge. The Almajiri, the children that we see on the streets, we sent them to school, and we enacted a law that nobody should be on the streets of Kano begging, and nobody should send his children to Almajiri schools in Kano or elsewhere, and nobody should bring one to Kano. It's still low in Kano State, but it all depends on the operators. There are so many things in the books as laws But many people don't even know about it. It's only when you go to court for whatever reason they will tell you there is a law on that one. So we are very conscious of our youth, and you see, support development, supports. What we did in Kano was to establish Sports Institute, one of the 26 that we established in 4 years. I went to many places outside the country together with my team to learn how to ensure that our young men and women participate in sports, not only for exercise, but it's a huge business. Now, we work together, and I can tell you there is Kano Pillars. Kano Pillars, for the 4 years I was Ghana, I used first year to equip them. The following year they take Premier Cup. The second year they take Premier Cup. The following year they took Premier Cup. 3 times back to back in Kano. So you see, youths are there. And the one of the institute also, in addition to this sports institute, is reformatory. So many people are taking drugs. Anywhere I go now, even here in Lagos, our supporters will come cheering. Not only I was looking at their face or whatever, I look at their eyes, I look at their lips, I look at even their tongue as they are speaking. You will see sign of drugs. They are all over. And without drugs, most of these criminal things will go down. I can tell you, under normal circumstances, hardly can you get a human being who will take a knife and slaughter a fellow human being. But if you take drugs, that's an easy thing to do. So we put committees on the ground. They were going around from one corner to the other of Kano State, picking young men and women who are into drugs. And parents were bringing. We take them to reformatory, we bring them to their normal senses, and then we either send them to school or give them capital to do business or employ them. Nobody left the reformatory center just like that. So we have programs on youth, but time will not permit to mention all of them. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, yes, but it could be multiple. People have many questions. Let's not abandon them. They are here for you, sir. The people are requesting, how will you handle this issue of fuel scarcity? Our refineries, when are they going to be operational? Women and children, women are here. They want to know your special program for them, sir. My question, they're 3 in 1. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You see all these issues, especially fuel scarcity. The earlier government tackles the issue, the better. If you are talking of fuel scarcity, you have to bring in the issue of fuel subsidy. It's key. Government is spending a lot of money on subsidy, 2 years. But what do we do about it? Because we need cheap, if you like, fuel for people who will go and do irrigation, for people who will go and do welding, and other businesses. Now, in our blueprint, we decided, first of all, to tackle the issue of corruption in fuel subsidy. And the large money that we are spending in fuel scarcity, according to all the information, facts and figures that we have, has to do with corruption. We were told that cargo will come once and somebody may decide to register it more than once. Even fuel tankers will go to pick fuel. One will be counted more than one. All these things added to the trillions that people are talking about now. So we will handle the issue of the corruption. Secondly, eventually subsidy has to go. But we have to bring palliatives to cushion the effect. You cannot just do it and ignore the other side. So, and I can assure you, if government decides to do the right thing, fuel will be available for every one of us in the filling stations. And the women, I can tell you, most of our supporters are women. Why? Because we have done so much. For the 8 years I was governor, every month we allocated 1 million per local government for women empowerment. We would select 100 women. Each one of them will be trained on particular trade of our own choosing. And then at the end of the day, we give her 10,000 naira capital. And 10,000 naira here in Ibadan or in Lagos may not look like big money, but in my part of the country, in fact, in those days, 10,000 naira was very big. And even health, for the 8 years I was governor, women were going to hospitals, especially pregnant women, from day one to the birth. Even when there was operation, it was free of charge. Nobody was charging any woman any money in all our government hospitals. So we can go on and on. Out of the 26 institutes, many of them were dedicated to women. Like Poultry Institute, it was a boarding school. We will take them for 3 months. Some will go with their children. We teach them from day-old chicken up to maturity. And then we give them whatever they trade on, and we give them day-old chicken, feed, and even drugs free of charge. So many women now in Kano are doing very well in terms of training in poultry, training in fisheries, training in livestock, even horticulture, and so on and so forth. So you can find that in Kano, most strong ally that we have are a group of women that we have in Kano State. Thank you and God bless you.
Hand them over so that we don't waste your time any longer, because you want to presentation, a presentation, okay? So we hand over the questions so that it will take some time. We worry because you say you are going for a rally, so and that we don't want to take too much of your time. So that's why we are handing over the questions. Yes, because we have about 10, 12 questions here. They have to do. You will still take the pictures, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, you may please be seated. We will still take the pictures. We will still take the pictures now. We have the communique. Can we have the communique first? Communique in 2 minutes. Communique in 2 minutes. Yes. Please sit down, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, please sit down. In 2 minutes. Okay.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency. This is the communique of Southwest Presidential Party with His Excellency Alhaji Rabiu Kwankwaso. In the dialogue, Alhaji Kwankwaso said his administration, if elected, will leverage
on local content and direct labor of indigenous contractors to build and improve on Nigerian roads and infrastructure. He also promised to improve on his achievements as two-term governor of Kano State, to upgrade the education system through provision of scholarship for students in public and private tertiary institutions. He also said he will pay WAEC examination fees. Then he gave cheering news to parents. He said he will increase the validity of JAMB results from 1 year to 4 years, as well as he will recruit more teachers. He also affirmed that his administration will increase the number of security personnel and jack up the capacity to enhance the unity of the country. He pledged his support for regional development. He said he will explore the national asset for development. And lastly, he noted that his administration will tackle the corruption in fuel subsidy. He said this corruption has brought about fuel scarcity. And he added that fuel subsidy will have to go, but he will give us palliatives and empowerment for women.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Your Excellency, I believe that was what we all said here. Thank you very much, sir. Vote of thanks, Mr. Alajile Kajia, Snappy.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Dr. Rabiu Kwankwaso, the Vice Presidential candidate, Bishop Isaac Idahosa, the National Chairman, Deputy National Chairman, all the officers of the new Nigerian People's Party here present. I must permit me to single out Prince Ayade, because he did everything to make sure that this event takes place. Can I put your hands together for him? Night and day he worked for this event. We are very, very grateful, and we wish you safe journey back to base, and we hope that if you do become the president, when we call you to come and review all these promises, you will agree to come. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Shall we now be upstanding for the national anthem? After that, we have the Thank you, Your Excellency. We now have the picture with our stakeholders. The group picture with our stakeholders. Can we move a bit forward? Your Excellency. Your Excellency.
Impact Africa Television. Explore, entertain, elevate.
Can we move forward, please, so that some of us who are not so tall. Please move forward, so that those of us who are not tall enough. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you, sir.
na san shi